Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at some Menards stuff. I was at Menards getting some supplies for hobbies, train and otherwise. And of course, when you're at Menards, you have to go check out the train section. And at the Menards that I was at, I think it was the Menards in Niles, Illinois. And they had a decent selection of train stuff. They had an okay selection of rolling stock and a pretty good selection of buildings and a few vehicles. They also had a couple of sets, which of course I didn't bother looking at as they're certainly way out of my price range, but I'm still considering them for a possible future purchase just to check them out. But a few things caught my eye, and they both happen to be trucks. Or at least one of them is a truck and the other is a truck on two flat cars. So I figured it'd be interesting to have sort of a double feature of Menards truck stuff. As far as I know, I believe that these two car packs that have the tractor and trailer are pretty new, but these have been around for a while. I don't believe I've had either of these, so I thought it'd be worth picking them up. Let me start with the Santa Fe fuel truck. It's a 1954 GM truck. So far it looks pretty good. First impressions are I think it has a lot of plastic on it. It's not super heavy. I think it ended up costing me around $8, somewhere around there. With the 15% sale, it was probably somewhere more like 7 something or other. But either way, not a bad deal for a little O-scale vehicle. But just looking at it, it looks nice. Again, you saw the back. They have a couple other vehicles. They had a fire truck too. I was considering getting that. But in the end, I went with the Santa Fe fuel truck as I thought it looked the best. So enough talking. Let's get this out of the box. Let's see, how does this work? There we go. Packaging is all right. Yeah, so this is a very plasticky vehicle. I mean, for $8, I wouldn't expect a whole ton of quality. But the thing is, when you have this on a layout, the difference between this and a die-cast truck, nobody's going to notice. It would have been nice if there were some die-cast components, but it appears that most, if not all, of this truck are entirely plastic pieces, which, despite that, the finish looks okay. There's a little bit of inconsistency on the logo back here that definitely doesn't show up on camera, but yeah, there's a little bit of discoloration on the Santa Fe logo here. I don't know if that's showing up. Probably not, but yeah. Overall, the paint is fine. Again, I would say 3-foot rule with this. You set it back that far and the graphics look gorgeous. Get in a little closer and it starts to fall apart just a bit. But the general impression of it is good, and having this on the layout will certainly be a welcome addition. Fits with the era that I have, and I don't really have any of these sort of trucks, so it'll be nice to have this and the other one that I'll take a look at in a second. So I'm going to put this back in the clamshell, and let's take a look at the flat car pack. Alright, here's the flat car and truck pack, and so far it looks pretty good. This was, I believe it was like $30, give or take, and with the 15% off sale, obviously that's quite a bit less. There's a lot of tape on these. I like the Menards boxes. I tend to store the trains in them. That's just gorgeous, isn't it? They had a few different paint schemes and colors. I think they had a Tide detergent one, and they had a couple others, but I liked this one the absolute best because I thought the blue just looked absolutely gorgeous. But we have 2 flat cars, a semi-tractor and trailer. For 30 bucks, in terms of like how much model you get here, that's good. Like that's extremely hard to beat in terms of new stuff. Let's take a look at the tractor. That's excellent. It's not blemish free per se, but it is certainly good looking. Again, I'd say with almost any Menards piece, 3-foot rule. But this has a lot of nice details. I like the little chocks on the wheels so that it doesn't go anywhere. It's a cute detail. And there's a nice long screw in there so you can back it out and play with this truck separately. Let's take a look at the trailer. Again, I think that the graphics on this trailer are actually, they're excellent. There's a couple inconsistencies up here that probably don't show up with my camera. But overall, just having a look at this, it's just really beautiful. The flat cars are kind of a non-event. Compared to the truck, they just really are. They really aren't much. They're probably where the heft of the value of this set would actually come from. But I feel like they're acceptable. I think the silver for Norfolk Southern doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Usually their flat cars are black and with white markings. And it's kind of odd that you have a truck from the 50s on a modern railroad flat car. But it's neat, and I think that that was intentional to get the Norfolk Southern logo and the Wrangler Jeans logo here because they both have a horse on them. I think that's a cute little detail. It shows that they put some thought into this. So let's get the truck off of the flat cars and take a look at it. Oh, it's still kind of on there. I don't think I missed any. Oh. It's kind of melted to the thing. There we go. Let's take the tractor off. So it looks like with these flat cars, it would be difficult to use them for any other purpose than putting a truck on them, because these chocks are sort of one with the bed of the flat car. At least if you took these off, you wouldn't be able to really put them back on that easily. We have this, I don't know exactly what you'd call this, but the sort of holder for the trailer. That's on there, so you can't take it off. So you really, absolutely can't really use these flat cars for anything other than having a truck on them, which is a little bit of a letdown. It sort of takes away some of the value here. But it's fine. I mean, for 30 bucks for this, you know, even considering that, that's not awful. The couplers, which usually tend to have problems with Menards, so far seem good. This car is a go. Nope. Yeah. This car, that one's good. And this one seems fine. Again, if your Menards couplers have any minor problems, those can mostly be fixed by putting a rubber band around it. You could use like a dental rubber band or something else. But looking at these cars, they're not bad. Again, for the price, you can't really argue for new stuff. But the more flashy piece here, and what's definitely where the value comes from in terms of looking at it, is the truck. It is kind of annoying that this thing is... Oh, you can actually take it out. Hey, that's not annoying at all. You can mount this to the truck. I don't know how that works. Oh, I'm hopeless here. I think it's this tab. May be wrong. I think that that's right. But, you know, that's even this, I mean, this alone for 30 bucks would not, absolutely not cut it. But this plus the two flat cars, not bad. And again, keep in mind, it wasn't even 30 bucks if you add on the 15% off. Although plus tax and everything, it might end up working its way back up to around 30 bucks. So really looking at all this, it's not that bad. Certainly get some nice things to put around your layout. And if you so choose to, put on flat cars and run around. Well, I'll get the fuel truck in here. We'll compare the two trucks a little. Again, they're the same model of cab here. Interestingly, this one has fuel tanks out here. This one doesn't. And of course, this is the semi-tractor version of this truck, and then this is a single frame with the fuel tank on the back. But the red and the blue really contrast with each other, and these will look nice on the layout near each other. Let's see. Oh, I think the doors might open on this. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting that. That's some points added on for play value. And I think play value is something that you're going to get here. Like, not only is it fun for a hobbyist to have these, place them around their layout, run the train around with the trailer and tractor on the flatbed, but also, this is excellent play value for a kid getting a starter set. Like, I could imagine getting like a Lion Chief starter set, and then along with that set, they could be gifted the 2-pack of the tractor and trailer and the flat cars, and they would be given 2 extra pieces of rolling stock, and they would be given an entire little toy truck to play with, and you could, interchange freight from your train to the truck and whatnot. And that adds a lot of play value, and I think that helps people get into the hobby more. It certainly has, with the starter set that I got, which was gifted to me with a trailer on flat car along with it. So that's something that I value in terms of having a train set. But just looking at what you get, like in total, this is less than $40, and I'd say the value there, especially for new stuff, is certainly made up for it. And I think Menards is doing a pretty good job. Other than a few quality control things with the couplers, which I haven't experienced, but other people certainly have, or I haven't experienced on these cars. I've experienced them otherwise. But I think that, honestly, this is pretty solid. And if you like tractor trailer semis and you like flat cars, then definitely pick one of these up if you're out of Menards. I recommend them. So I'm going to take these over to the layout, pose them around, take some photos, and run the flat cars. Alright, so what do I really think about this stuff? Well, after playing with it for a little bit, I really like it. I feel like the value for money is certainly there, and if you're looking to get this sort of stuff for possibly a kid that's getting started in the hobby and wants some more freight rolling stock, and maybe they like trucks too, this is absolutely where you're going to get that play value. And again, I feel like for what I've got here, in modern terms for new stuff, $40 is just about as good as I think you could get. Now, do I think that you could possibly find some neater stuff at a train show for $40? Absolutely. And I feel like if you're near a train show and it happens relatively frequently, then you should go there before, going to a Menards or to a train store, because you can find some fantastic things at train shows. And I'm sure I've seen some really cool tractor trailers at train shows, and I've also seen very cheap flat cars. So you could probably throw something together that's pretty similar to this for around the same price or a lot less. So I guess I'd like to present these as a good option if you want to buy new. I'd say this is your best option if you want this sort of thing new. And, well, in terms of play value, Menards has got Lionel beat. In terms of quality, maybe not such, but in the end, it's similar enough. There's really no die cast on these pieces, but that doesn't matter a whole lot, especially to a lot of us who aren't going to be banging these around and playing with them tactilely too much. We're just going to be looking at them. And I will be honest, they look incredibly pretty if you look at them the right way at the right distance. So in the end, do I actually recommend these to a hobbyist that wants to run them around the layout? Yeah, I would say that these are certainly worth picking up, especially if they have a particular paint scheme or brand that you enjoy. So overall, I do recommend these, and I feel like they would make a great addition to almost anyone's O-gauge layout. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.